What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Star Wars fans, fellow Star Wars fans, anyone that is a Star Wars fan? We are here for finally Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now, guys, before I go into this will contain massive spoilers. Once again, spoilers. I'm not going to go into every little detail. I'm going to sum this up as quickly as I can, so you've been warned. Here we go. The film starts off with Kylo Ren attacking a planet. He finds what looks to be a holocron, and it is a wave holocron, and it is used to transmit to find the Sith homeworld, where we do get to see where Kylo Ren meets Palpatine. Now, when he meets Palpatine, it does get confirmed, as we've seen in all the Star Wars TV spots, where he states, "I have been in your head." He talks like Snoke. He talks like Vader. So he's been manipulating Kylo Ren from the beginning. And we get to see pods of what looks to be more Snoke trying to be made. Now, obviously, we get to see where he states, he knows who he is, and as soon as he says, "Well, I've already killed Snoke," he says, "Well, because I allowed it." He says, "Well, why should I not kill you?" And he tells him, and he informs him, "If you don't kill me, then you'll have everything you want." He basically bribes him the same way he sort of did with Vader, but in a different way. He basically tells him that if he kills Rey, he does all this, and he does what he says, then he'll be the so-called new emperor. So he does what he says, and then goes to Poe, Finn, and Chewie, and they are going on a mission to find out more information about what's being leaked by them by by basically someone is a hidden spy within the First Order, who we'll say here in a little bit. But then as soon as they get that, they have an X fighter fight, and then they just start with TIE fighters, and then with the Millennium Falcon, and then they go to the planet that they are hiding at. Rey is being trained by Leia. She's continually getting connected by Kylo, and they're still having that connection. And we also get to see where, as soon as you get to find out that Palpatine is alive, Leia is not surprised. A rebel is stating, "Okay, well, possibly by cloning or something." She says, "It doesn't shock me." She says he always had his ways to survive, and he's been building an armada this entire time. The ones that are still loyal to him, that he's been allowed them to know he is alive, and he's building an armada. So the plan is to use another wave holocron to find the Sith homeworld. So Rey, Finn, Poe, Chewie, C-3PO, all of them go to another planet, which we do see in the TV spot, which is to find possibility of where Luke picked off to try to find the Sith homeworld. Then they come across where they are on the planet. They are about ready to get attacked due to the Force connection that we do see with Kylo as well as Rey. They are talking back and forth. He's telling her that, of course, I know who your parents are. She doesn't want to believe him. He takes the necklace. He hasn't analyzed. He knows the planet they're on. They start an attack, and then who comes to the rescue? Lando Calrissian in disguise. He informs them that he's here to help. They're real honored to meet him. Then we see that chase that we get to see in the TV spot as well. And then she sees the shit that was used from her parents, and she's starting to remember. And they have this big fight, and then as soon as we get to see them go up against the stormtroopers, they go into what looks to be quicksand, and Finn says something to Rey. "Oh, well, I want to tell you something, but I never told you." Now, I'm just going to say this entire movie, I felt like Finn was up Rey's ass. I'm just going to say that point blank. I felt like he was up her ass to the extent. And I'm thinking, dude, you have Rose who made out with you, and then all of a sudden it's like there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you're good friends with Rey, but you've been up her ass like so much in this movie. And he continues to do that throughout the entirety of the movie. Like, "Oh, Rey. I'm like, dude, calm down. And we finally do see where Rey learns how to do force healing after someone that was there did find, we got to see the dagger that has been seen so much, and tries to go to where it will be leading them back to Endor. She heals a creature, and then they go back to the Millennium Falcon, and once that happens, we get to see more of Kylo Ren showing up. The First Order get Chewie, they arrest him, they bring him on to the main Imperial fleet, and as soon as that happens, we get to see them try to go to another planet to where C-3PO is able to read the markings onto the dagger, but he's unable to, so they have to go to another planet, and where we get to see where another character by the name of Maze, who Poe knows when he was a smuggler, so again, they try to do a Han Solo on that, and they basically have history, and she tells him that, there's a big bounty on Rey, and as soon as that happens, Rey starts fighting. She's, okay, look, I don't want to kill you, and then she goes, I like you. So as soon as that happens, they do agree to redo C-3PO. We see that scene where C-3PO's, I'm looking at my friends. As soon as that happens, the First Order attacks. He gives the information. BB-8 records. Everybody else listens. And Rey, again, they all think Chewie is dead because when her and Kylo were trying to go up against, trying to hold the fighter or the containment ship to go up to the Imperial fighter, they try to hold on to it. Both of them were fighting for it, and then Rey just used Force Lightning, and she just destroyed it. Because again, I'm going to get in my issues with this movie later on here, guys. But again, there's so much in this movie that there was issues with, and well, there's issues with this movie, but then they gave a lot of clarity. Like at one point in the movie, we see where she does get told that she is Palpatine's granddaughter by Kylo Ren. She starts to remember about why her parents left her, trying to protect her. Then we also got to see where, Kylo Ren's trying to bring her to the dark side, and she keeps resisting, and then she keeps getting told everybody that, they don't know who she is, as well as also them trying to go back to Endor to try to get to the former fallen with the Death Star, and Rey goes out there on her own, even though they come across another character by the name of Janna. It does not get to be told that she is Lando Calrissian's daughter, but we also get to find out that Janna was a former stormtrooper, and her and Finn had this connection already because they both were stormtroopers. They find out, they said, okay, well, we're gonna have to wait till dawn, and as soon as that happens, she says, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. Now Rey can't wait, so she goes to the Death Star. She gets in there, and as soon as she's going through the rubble and going through it like she would be with a scavenger, she finds the wave holocron. As soon as she grabs it, that's when we see the dark Rey, and she just says, like, as Leia told her right before she left, you don't need to be afraid of who you are. So she has like a fight within herself, and then, or in a hallucination, and then we see, of course, Kylo Ren show up, and then they fight. And during the entire time, he destroys the wave holocron, and then as soon as that happens, he keeps trying to get her back to the dark side. And when they are fighting, something's going on with Leia where she's having the same problem Luke did, and she goes to lay down, and then while they are fighting, Finn tries to go help Rey. She pushes him back when they're having this big old fight, and then as soon as this happens, we get to see a massive fight with Kylo Ren and Rey again, and then as soon as this happens, we just see where Leia does die in the movie. We get to see Leia die. We get to see where as soon as it happens, she says Ben, and Ben stops right before he gets the upper hand on Rey, because he is, to a certain degree, more powerful than Rey. They both are powerful within their own right, which I'm going to get to later on. They are also got to where he stopped, and then right when she got the upper hand on him, she stabs Kylo Ren, and then she feels Leia die. So they both feel Leia die, and she feels real bad, and she understands he just lost his mom. She just lost someone that she considered her master, and we do get to know how Leia was trained, which I'll get to here in a minute. She does heal Kylo Ren, and then she just takes his TIE fighter, and just, well, not his TIE fighter, but his X-Wing, and leave. And as soon as that happens, Finn's like, okay, where'd they go? They leave, they go back to the HQ, they find out Leia's dead, and basically Han now has a moment with, not Han, but Kylo Ren has a moment with his father, Han Solo. So Harrison Ford was able to be brought back in the movie to basically say, yes, your mom is gone. He says, but what she stood for is still there. He says, I don't know if I have the strength to do that. And he basically does go back to being good because he throws his lightsaber in the ocean, and he's about ready to tell his dad he's sorry, but we get to hear the iconic "I know." He's basically trying to tell his dad that he's sorry that he killed him, and he knows his essence, his spirit knows that he is sorry for what he did. And as soon as that happens, we also get to find out that General Husk was the spy. The new general kills one of the other generals, kills General Husk, and becomes the so-called new leader of the entirety of the First Order, and goes to Palpatine. Palpatine puts him in charge, and we get to see where he's wanting to start the final order, where all these ships basically have Death Star capabilities of destroying planets. So as soon as we get to see that, we see where Rey goes to Ahch-To, destroys the fighter she was in, is about to destroy the lightsaber, and then we also get to see where Luke Skywalker, aka Mark Hamill, finally returns. He tells her, that's not how you treat a lightsaber. You gotta treat it with more respect. And she just goes, Master Skywalker. And she goes, what are you doing? And she says, I'm gonna do the same thing you did. He says, you don't need to do what I did. He says, I was wrong. He says, I was here because I was scared. And he admits that. And they fixed a lot of things in The Last Jedi here, guys. They really did. And they also tell where he says that he says, what, that you're a Palpatine? He says, yeah, I knew. So did Leia. And he says, but yet she still trained me. He says, because she saw your spirit. She saw your goodness. And he says, well, let me show you something. After he finally coaxes her that, you know, all the stuff that you've been reading, all the things you've been learning, all the Jedi that now live in you, he shows her Leia's lightsaber. So it does go into a flashback where he showed that he trained Leia as well. So that's the reason why he now knows that Leia did go into her Jedi roots. And the reason why she did not go further with becoming a Jedi was because she knew that sooner or later somebody else was going to need to become a Jedi, and she wanted to be more focused with her son, because she's also very powerful, just like Luke. So we got to see her and Luke kind of spar. A younger version of Mark Hamill, which was amazing. A younger version of Carrie Fisher, which was absolutely amazing. The CGI was great. And we get to see where she takes both of the lightsabers. She says, well, I don't know how I'm going to get off here. And he says, you have everything you need. And he raises his X-Wing and puts it down the same way Yoda did, same music, everything in Empire Strikes Back. So it was another homage to it. So again, a lot of fan service in this film. So she does lead the entire fleet to where Palpatine is, and she goes to find Palpatine. They all start ready to lead. They're saying good people will follow, you know, if we lead them. Of course, Poe says that, and we also get this massive armada. He says, I don't know how we're going to get through this, and start attacking. Rey is seeing her grandfather, aka Palpatine, for the very first time, and he tells her, basically, I've been waiting for this for so long to see my granddaughter, the Empress, on her throne. He basically is feeding her a bunch of BS. He basically just wants her to strike him down so he can live within her. So basically, we do get to see where he does admit of something with soul transfer, which we get to see a lot in Legends, so they put that in there, I firmly believe. As well, he keeps telling her, you know, if you do this, then the entire fleet will be under your command. So as soon as we see this, we get to see where she is very close to almost wanting to ascend, but as soon as we see Kylo Ren exit a TIE fighter, get into the catacombs of where Rey is. And as soon as that happens, he just starts shooting what looks to be red guards, which we always get to see what was guarding Palpatine. Then we also get to see where he lets her know that he's there. We also get to see where she finally gives him basically Luke / Anakin's lightsaber to go up against the Knights of Ren. So we did get to see Kylo Ren kind of have a moment with him fighting against his own ones that considered him to be their leader. So he killed them. He goes in to help Rey. Rey's taking on the other guards, and he sees them both. He says, oh, so you'll work together? You're going to die together. And then as soon as he does Force Lightning, he just sees that their bond within the Force is so strong. So he uses the Force to basically suck their essence out, and they both get drained completely. They go down. Kylo gets back up. He tries to go. He says, a Skywalker pushed me through. He says, I'm going to do the same thing. He just pushes Kylo Ren into this massive hole to basically have nostalgia because of what Anakin did to him. And we get to see the massive fleet go into against the fleet of the Empire, of this so-called new Empire. And we can see where Finn comes up with an idea with Jaina and the rest of the rebels to go onto the main Imperial fleet ship to get on there. And we get to see where they are like, okay, we gotta destroy this, that way we can have the other ships get destroyed. And as soon as when it looks like Bad Hope, we get to see all the rest of the fleet come in, all kinds of ships, as well as Lando and Chewie being in the seats of the Falcon, come and just lead the charge. And we also get to see where Rey is out of it. She's looking up at the sky, she's saying, "Be with me," and she's listening, and finally she's able to hear all the Jedi that were here before her: Mace Windu, Ahsoka, Ezra, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin. Hayden Christensen actually used his voice, and then at the same time she gets up and he just says, "Oh, so you think you're going to be able to kill me?" And then as soon as he's using Force liking, he's saying, "I am the Sith. I am every Sith beyond." And then as soon as she sees that, she grabs the other lightsaber and she says, "Yeah, but I'm a Jedi." So she does kill Palpatine. She wipes him out using his own Force lightning. And when she does, the entire fleet does get destroyed, while Poe and Finn and everybody else doing their part. As soon as that happens, we get to see where Rey falls unconscious. She does die because she used all her essence to kill Palpatine. Kylo gets up. We get to see where he literally sees his hand. He starts crawling to Rey, and he somehow does like a essence transfer. He basically gives all his ability, his power to Rey to bring her back. And as soon as she says that, she just looks at him and says, "It's like Ben." And then and this is fan service with her kissing him, and then he dies in her arms after that, and then he just goes away, his body goes away, and Leia does the same time, just like we got to see with Obi-Wan, with Yoda. And then Rey exits the planet, as well as also all the rebels. We have a huge, massive party going on, and we see everybody celebrating back at the HQ. And as soon as we get to see that, we just see where everyone is having an emotional moment, and we get to see where there's a lot of nostalgia of Chewie getting a medal like they did in New Hope, and there was a lot of things, again, that I'm going to go to here, that at the end of the movie, we see Rey go with the Millennium Falcon on a Tatooine, gets Rey and Luke's Leia as well as Luke's lightsabers, puts them in the home that he was raised in, buries them both in the sand, and you see her light up her own lightsaber, which is yellow. And then we can see a stranger go, "Well, who are you?" And she says, "Rey." She says, "Well, Rey, what?" And then she turns around, sees Luke and Leia, and she says, "Skywalker." And then we get to see her looking in the distance, like where Luke did with BB-8, and then that's how the film ends. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you what issues I had with this. And I'll tell you what I liked. I liked a lot of this. The way they did it was great. They fixed a lot of issues with The Last Jedi. There was a lot of things in this I wish they did not do. Like, for instance, I did not like them having Finn all up in Rey's ass. I felt like he was going to declare his love for her or something. I'm like, dude, really? Like, that's just really cliche of them trying to do that. And then also with her kissing Kylo, I felt like that was very not needed. I just felt like that was fan service. I mean, you Rey Kylo fans, okay, y'all want to be angry. That's just me. I'm not a huge Kylo Ren fan. I'm not. I mean, because they really try to make him so much like Vader, and Vader is one of my favorite characters. And I don't like how they try to make him either be like Vader or better than Vader. And I didn't like that. I also did not like how they. Those are the main things I did not like. The other things I did not like is where were all these other Sith, that supposedly were there. We got to see statues of the Sith. We got to see, we didn't get to see very much of the so-called clones of Snoke. That was really hard to see, as you really got to pay attention. At the same time I was unhappy with Hayden Christensen not being in the film. I really wish he was. I wish they would have had his Force Ghost or something go up against, help her with Palpatine. That would have been better, out of my opinion. Palpatine, Ian McDiarmid, he did an amazing job. I think that, with him literally having all kinds of wires and tubes in him, and literally having some kind of massive mechanical arm, just, help him go around. He looked like he was literally, I mean, he's over 100-something years old by now. I mean, obviously, he's extremely old. He is basically on his deathbed, and the only thing that's keeping him alive is by the will of the dark side. And he also get to see where he just looked like some type of wicked, just like almost like a wraith or a weird spirit is basically how he looked, is I guess what the look they were going for. And as soon as that happened, we also get to see where Rey saying Skywalker. Obviously they're gonna go over Rise of Skywalker, which will be Rey. Now, do I have a problem with this? Yes and no, because I feel like with the Rise of Skywalker, I feel like it's more towards, to me, it's more towards Luke and Leia. It is their legacy. It is the legacy of Skywalkers to leave someone that is willing to carry on the name. And in a way, I have a problem with that, and in a way, I don't have a problem with that, because again, Rey is very close to Leia. She was very close to, well, not close to Luke, but she was more close to Leia than Luke, and Leia treated her with a lot of respect. She loved her, I guess, as her own, I'm guessing. And then there was a lot of nostalgia where, you know, Leia died and Chewie just broke down. Like, he was roaring, he was crying. There was so much emotion in that, and I love that, because that was his family. I mean, he's lost Han, he lost Luke, and then now he lost Leia. It's only one he has now is, between Lando and Poe, Finn, and Rey now, and it's really, it broke his heart, and I was like, damn. But the thing with C-3PO, I also thought that was kind of crazy. Like, oh, somehow or other he got this information, but don't know how he got this information. To my knowledge, they did not say how he got this information. I wish to God they would have put something of how they put his information within this type of, I don't know. I really wish they would have said, hey, this is how we got it. Now, again, guys, I did skip some things. I did not go in every single little detail. I'm not going to pick apart the movie. I'm not going to say, oh, it sucked, or oh, it was great, because there's so much controversy within this movie right now. I can't even, I can be here all night. I mean, obviously right now I am recording this on Saturday night. I will be uploading this possibly Monday, and there'll be a lot of probably between good and bad reviews on this. I'm really not sure. I was able to finally watch it. I was so excited to see this. I really wish we were able to see more of the Sith Troopers as well. I was really looking forward to that. I was looking forward to see more of the Knights of Ren. I was a little disappointed with both of those. Now, again, was this a good send-off to the rest of... Now, for the prequel trilogy, yes. To the entire saga, that's debatable. I wish there was possibly a little bit more of a debate with... I mean, I think it would have been possibly a little bit better with the... if they did something, if they would have brought back others, such as maybe Yoda, or maybe Obi-Wan, or Hayden Christensen again as Anakin. I wish they would have done something to where we would be able to see them, help Rey, or be able to be like, hey, this is, you're the last one now, unless you want to create another generation. So obviously that's how it ends with the Skywalker line, as well as also with no more Skywalker. I mean, she's now taken on the Skywalker name. She does not want to be a Palpatine, and she's more proud to be a Jedi as well as a Skywalker and anything else. So that is my review of Rise of Skywalker, guys. I mean, yeah, there was issues, and there's other things that I think that could have been better explained. But other than that, it was a good film. Was it better than Last Jedi? Hell yeah, it was. It was a lot better than Last Jedi. The effects was great. The action was great. The acting was good. It was a lot better than Last Jedi. I mean, it's so much better than Last Jedi. I mean, was Last Jedi terrible? It was bad, but it could have been better. Now, this literally goes, I want to say, between... I don't know. I mean, right now the prequels, there's so much issues with the prequels that, I love it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. What you guys think about it as a whole. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Plan on making more videos about this in the future. So many more videos coming. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season as well. Let me know what you guys thought about the characters, what y'all thought about the movie, what you guys think about my review. Let me know in the comments. If you guys are new to the channel, slap a big like on that if you like Star Wars, more Star Wars videos. Always coming on the channel, as well as also, if you want to keep in tune, if you guys want to keep updated, click that notification bell, as well as also click that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you guys on the very next video.